And of course, I hit the siren to start broadcast, and the sirens start going off outside. Go figure. What's up, guys? It's Damnation-n-Hellfire here, and tonight we got Doomsday Rebel with us.
What's good, everyone?
And we got Ross Crow.
Good evening.
So this may end up being a short show tonight. I'm not sure because slide-wise we really don't have that much to cover. Let me go ahead and get this started. We didn't really talk much about who's covered what slides in pre-show, so guys, so we'll just kind of wing it. And I'll just tell you, hey, you're covering this one.
Sounds good.
All right, first thing I want to start off with is this really affects me on a personal level, kind of, because, you know, for years and years and years, I worked at a comic book store, which had led into me owning a game store for many, many years. And Stan Lee died earlier this week, and I think that, personally, that's a big loss to the world, in my opinion. Like, he just brought so much to the realm of imagination. And sometimes I wonder if we would even be playing a lot of the video games that we have now if it wasn't for him and him pushing the imagination like he did. So, I don't know. That was just something that made me very, very sad. Even though he lived an extremely long life, you can see he was like 95 years old when he died. So, my God, imagine 95 years old, man. Imagine all the stuff you can fit in that life. Even if you're not a famous person like him, just a normal guy, imagine what you can fit into 95 years.
Right. That's good.
Yeah, he was an icon of creativity, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know. The world has been lessened by his passing, in my opinion, for sure. But his creations will live on far, far beyond him, obviously. So we'll always have a good way to remember him. Anytime you watch one of them Marvel movies and you really enjoy it, thank this man. All right, so the next thing, well, everybody I'm sure knows about this by now, but the refactor has been pushed back a week because, you know, everybody was saying it's not ready, it's not ready, it's not ready. So they actually listened to us this time, and they pushed it back a week. And for me, that is cause for great celebration, as you can see by the fireworks, because, boy, it would have been a pretty big disaster had it come out the way it was when we last saw it.
Yeah, I think it was the right decision for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody who says Kix never listens to us, up yours. Here you go. Yes, they do every now and then. Oops. So, changes to the calendar that they posted. I think we might have talked about this on Saturday, but we'll go over it again real quick. Bounty is canceled for this month. You know, obviously it would have been started today, so obviously we're not going to have it. However, November 20th, I'm assuming that the Outpost 11 PvP update is still coming out. So I guess we're going to have all the rest of the stuff for Outpost 11 at the same time that we get the refactor, I suppose. I haven't heard anything different otherwise. Have either of you guys heard anything contrary to that?
No, sir.
No.
So it makes sense to me that it would all hit at the same time, but boy, it's going to be a whole lot of getting used to at the same time. I'll tell you that. But, I mean, that's kind of good because it'll put everybody in a state of what the hell's going on for a little bit, you know? So, and that aspect of things, it'll be like fair across the board, I suppose.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it might not even be two what the hells then, you know, back to back what the hells, just one bigger one.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of like rip the Band-Aid off all at one time instead of taking it off little by little, right?
Right.
And then, of course, November 21st, we're having the Bring Home the Bacon event. And I think on the next slide I have a little bit more about that. I keep scrolling my mouse the wrong way. So it's going to start on this coming Monday. Or no, sorry, this coming Wednesday and last till the following Monday. There's going to be 3 different targets. There's the bacon bit, the thin cut bacon, and the thick cut bacon targets. So I guess it says most available prizes will be in the reward store, so everyone has access to the primary content. There are Alliance leaderboard and individual leaderboard prizes as a bonus on top of the store contents. It says let's see what's available in the leaderboard is available in the store, exception being one of the skins and a tier 8 hull token. Speaking of which, new bacon skins are available for the Icebreaker and the Inferno Dragon. You're going to have the brand new tier 8 PvP hull, the Breacher Dreadnought. Travis, I'm sure you're happy about a new Dreadnought, I'm sure.
Absolutely. That was the first hull that I won. It was the original Dread, and man, I raised hell with it. So I hope they pull this one off to where it complements everything good and plays well.
Yeah, I kind of recall probably being some of that hell that you may have raised with that original Dreadnought.
Oh god, that thing is so fun.
All right, this one I found interesting. Potentially a collector chest for older hulls. So, I mean, I guess you have a chance to randomly get a chest that will have an older hull that you don't have, you know, for the collectors out there who like to try to have everything but might be missing a couple things. This definitely has potential for them, and I think that's kind of neat. Because there's some stuff that, like, I haven't gotten in the past either because I wasn't as into the game at that point, or maybe a particular raid was just really hard, and I was like, I'm not going to bother with it. Or, you know, maybe just that's something for whatever reason I missed. And that would be cool to be able to maybe pick some of that stuff up this way. And it says, because there's an Alliance leaderboard, Alliance rosters and potentially relocation will be locked for the duration of the activity. However, sector threat will not be disabled like in the Halloween activity. So you're still going to be able to do, you know, get your titanium and your uranium and all that fun stuff. Because I know that was one of the big things that really ticked people off last night was they didn't have access to all those premium sources for the whole thing at the Halloween event.
Yeah, that's a really good move. That'll help out a lot.
Yeah, these are all positives. I mean, even with the hull being the fact that it's the Dreadnought involved, that brings, you know, great joy to all us old timers. That hull was so much fun. And lasted so much for quite some time, you know. But
it's only fitting that the guy with the white beard says old timers. That's only fitting,
right? You know, and they listened to you then on the sector threat issue, because that was an issue without being prior stated. And even if they would have prior stated that it's going to be turned off, I would have been okay with that too. And so this type right here of delivery on what's coming is greatly appreciated, in my opinion.
So for those keeping track, that's 2 things on this show alone that they have listened to the community on.
Oh.
For those keeping track. For those who say they never listen to anything.
That lightens the load of the players too. That's kind of one less chore because you can do it as you need it in the event. You don't have to go out the day or 2 before and stock up on resources, you know, so that's one less chore, you know.
Yeah.
At your leisure now if you want, or you can grind it out too, don't matter.
Cuddle, I don't know that they've said what kind of ships that we're going to use at this point. This is like all we know. As far as I know, they haven't said whether it's going to be like a PvP base hit type thing or you know, like a skirmish thing, or if it's going to be an assault thing. As far as I know, they haven't released that information yet. I know there's a lot of stuff that they don't have the final info on, and so this is all they've opted to tell us at this point. That's all I can tell you. Unless anybody else has heard anything that I haven't heard.
No, nothing at all.
I know today I've been like really incommunicado with the game today because I've had other personal stuff that I needed to take care of. So yeah. So I don't know anything if anything got said today or not. But before today, I hadn't seen anything. So I think it's neat though that like on like the Halloween event, they only had the 2 targets. This time they're doing a little bit more variety with the 3 targets. I really like how they labeled the first one Bacon Bit. I think that's kind of funny. So we did some TLCs. Travis, you want to do the Cover of Darkness one? I'll have you do this one and the next one.
All right, the cover of darkness is it's for the Brennus Bat Ray flagship. If you can do it, you'll also get some Gathering Storm. Uh, I guess a semi-escalation weapon. They do pair well with the Ripsaws. And you'll also get some VXP tokens and see some build tokens if you can make it to the mastery round. But I don't have a Makara mana core, so I can't even go in. But I've seen people do it. It's seemed like either they had a great fleet or maybe they've tuned it a little better. I can't speak either way. I saw some people do it and it didn't go so well, and others do it just fine. So I guess it's all in your build.
Yeah, I'd be interested in knowing, because I haven't tried this yet. I'd be interested in knowing if they have tuned it down some, because I know the regular ones for the regular Bat Rays and the regular Razor Tails, it definitely seemed like they did tune them down each time. So that's another thing. We've been asking for that for how long? Because it seemed forever that like the TLCs would get more and more difficult each time they came out, and it kind of seemed like maybe now they're kind of starting to go the other way and have getting a little bit easier. So that would be amazing. That would be 3 things that they listen to us about on one show. How crazy would that be? Let me flip over to the other one. You can cover this one too, because it's pretty much the same targets and everything. So
yeah, this one gets your Occam's Razor Tail and those nail heads. You get your VXP and build tokens for this also. So if you have a Razor Tail fleet and you're looking to still get your flag, this is the campaign for you.
All right, and Candy Apple in chat saying he's doing the TLC right now and it hasn't been turned down. So I guess hoping for 3 things that they listen to us on one show was shooting for the moon there. So good that I've been brought back down to reality a little bit.
Is he using missiles or scatters?
I don't know. Candy, are you using missiles or scatters?
Because the people we're watching are using missile fleets.
Well, I know for the Mannies, I was not a big missile fan at all. I was definitely more about the scatters for when it came to the Mannies. He's using scatters.
Yeah.
Ross, do you want to do the Lion's Mane?
Sure.
And you can do the Scorpion Sting Elite too, because they're pretty much the same.
Good deal. Yeah, these are going to be for your assault fleet, and it's going to be for the next 5 days. And the first prize pack is where you're going to pick up the mana core itself, and along with a BXP token. In the second prize pack, you're going to pick up the Roaring Barrel systems, which is a great special. So making it to prize pack 2 is a good thing if you can. You pick up the 2 of the VXP tokens, 1 mana core build token. And prize pack 3 is where you're going to get to the Savage CIC, the Panthera Scattergun, and also 3 VXP ranking tokens and 2 mana core build tokens. I'm not sure the difficulty level on this for those that that need it. I have this fleet, so
I'm doing this one because I need these tokens. So I can do it with a pretty crappy Phoenix fleet, and then I have my Skyfire fleet with a gut spill. And even though there's I guess there's flax in there that take out the UAVs, if you pull up real close to them, they'll wipe them out, no problem. So it can be done with Skyfires.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah, I guess the only thing you have to be careful at that point is when you're really up close like that, whenever they change to one of those buildings and blows the building up and it shoots out those cheese balls.
Yeah.
Getting hit by them freaking hurts.
Well, Skyfires, which I guess maybe I've not been hit directly. I've had them hit pretty close, but it didn't seem to do much where they have kind of a decent, I guess, radioactive buff or something.
Well, yeah, but the cheese ball is explosive or whatever.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know, like, maybe they've tuned the damage on them too. Because I know with when I would get hit by them on occasions, I'll like there would go like a third of my freaking fleet just by that one damn cheese ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it was explosive damage, and you can't put explosive resistance on either one of those holes. So it's like, oh well, why is this damage type even in here? That was always one of our biggest complaints back during that cycle. But and then you also got the Scorpion Sting Elite one.
Now this one here is just like the sister to the last one. So this one here, you're going to be wanting to use a mana core. Okay, so you're going to get the upgrade weapons in this one, prize pack 1. You're going to pick up the Stinger missile along with the VXP mana core token. In prize pack 2, you're going to pick up the strike system and along with 2 VXP tokens and 1 day mana core build token as well. Now, prize pack 3 is where you're going to pick up the Scorpion CIC, 3 VXP ranking tokens, and 2 build tokens. When you get to the mastery round, that's where you're going to pick up a lot of the tokens. Well, you're going to get 3 one-day build tokens, 3 VXP ranking tokens, and then you're going to get the Nightmare skin. But there's quite a few tokens through here. So, I mean, depending on the damage, I don't know.
The same fleets I just talked about can do all 4 of Lion's Mane, and I can only get to the 3rd prize pack, or through the 3rd prize pack. I can get all the way up to like maybe the 6th or 7th round before I get taken out.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. I knew the mastery, to get to the mastery might be harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I suppose, however, if you do have your mana core fleet, you know, and you're just looking for some more tokens to refit it or do any changes, that you can do that TLC with your actual mana core fleet that you already have.
Well, there's stun in there, and those mana cores will get probably melted.
Are you sure in that one? Are you sure there's stun in that one? Because I thought that was the one that they readjusted and took all the stun out.
Well, they might have. I just see the little drones and just assume.
Yeah, because I remember doing this one. I remember originally, I'm pretty sure I did it with, I think it was just regular version, that not this elite version or whatever, but I did the regular version with 2 mana cores, I believe, back when I very first got them.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I know they say recommended fleets of mana core fleets perform best. So I would think that they would not have the stun. And then we got the Titan Rising TLC. That's for your Mega. You know, we've had this quite a few times already. But you can get Congreve rockets, the Pyro engine. You can get the missile strike drones, the drone bridge module, the Exocet module, and the rocket strike drone module in the very last prize pack. And then you get 3 6-hour build tokens in each of the prize packs as well. And I still can't finish that last goddamn prize pack. Oh, that pisses me off, man.
You know what? I finished it.
You know what? Up yours.
It's really finally a good amount of tokens, you know, or build time. You can actually, you know, upgrade something quite, you know, at least a level just for participating in the nest. So it's useful.
The good thing too is between each encounter, as you're going through the prize packs, you can go in, look and see what you're facing, and then readjust your weapons based on what your particular encounter is, which is actually why I didn't get past through the last prize pack, because I had 2 of my rockets facing totally backwards instead of off to the sides, and I didn't notice it until after combat had already started, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch. So, yeah, that's it for the slides. We're done. So, I don't know. You guys want to talk about test server or something?
Yeah, if you want.
Sure.
You might as well, because we don't really have much else to talk about. So I know you're on there, Travis, and Ross, you've gotten to watch. Well, let's go with you because we want to like start from the bottom and work our way up in the positivity ranks. So, and I know you were kind of the bottom level there. So let's let you go first.
I'm just finding a little bit of fun currently in the game. In all honesty, I know it's strange. I know things numbers don't work and they aren't what they are, but my base can get beat, of course, but it's doing okay, and I put a lot of work into that and over time, and I'm concerned about just having that go goodbye. And I know that it's all in the tuning, and so we'll see. But it's not just all in the tuning. I just didn't like some by design getting rid of the supports and those and limiting to one. I know some people are in favor of that, but I guess it's just because I'm not a huge fan of great change, and I know the great change is coming just along with the level upgrade of the outpost, and I was thinking that alone might really bring more value to the game than a refactoring for me. I like the fact that my OP lives quite some time. I like the fact that when bounty hits, I use a boost to make a almost unstoppable OP. I like those things. So I'm just concerned with me having to. I know they've looked at 70% off, and that's just not in stone. That's all just thrown out there and just guesswork at this point. But if I have to refit everything I have, and for no real gain to myself, I'm not looking forward to it. But I am looking forward to the OP change, the turret upgrades and those type of things. So I really am looking forward to that, but not so much the refractor.
Well, I know the one thing, and I'm just going to touch on this a little bit, and then we'll go back again. We'll go to Travis and see what he has to say. But the one thing you said that I find interesting was about the unbeatable OP. I mean, do you think having an almost unbeatable OP during bounty makes for good PvP? I don't think that makes for good PvP.
I don't even get hit in bounty. So,
but do you follow what I'm saying on that though?
Well, I think that it doesn't really. I was meaning that I like that, but in general, I like that for the community because there's some really easy bases out there, and some of them I was like, holy cow, I might not make it in time, because they had an OP that lasted. I really don't even get hit.
Right. I'm just thinking from an attacker's perspective, I would think almost having an unbeatable OP would not make it very fun, though. You go through all that shit, take all that damage, and then you get to an OP, and just because you can buy all those extra defenses and bounty, you're going to time out on it. That just doesn't seem to me as for an attacker, that would be a very satisfying PvP experience.
Well, I guess if, those that can't figure that out by design are the ones that get picked on. I mean, that's just, there's always going to be that group that just doesn't get that anyway. I mean, I don't think that a large portion of the players will have the right combinations on there anyway.
Okay. Well, yes, the problem is, Sojourner, that you don't know if it's unbeatable or not until you get back to the base and start killing on the OP. And by that time, you've already done probably a crap ton of damage to your fleet. And so, yeah, it's not like you can peek in and say, oh, that's unbeatable, move on to the next one, because you don't know till you get there.
Right, you don't.
So, Travis, what do you think about the upcoming changes for the PvP?
So far it's been a lot of fun, man. It's this past preview server, it's been a battle. It's felt good. Now there's been some issues that come up. You know, the team has addressed them and looking at others as well. But what I found, you know, everybody's saying we're going to have to refit everything. I didn't have to refit crap on my witch doctors. I ain't touched them. Now I had one that was blank and I changed it a little bit and it's actually a little better. I've just been too lazy to fix the other two. The Poseidon that I'm running with them was what I planned on doing before refactor, and it works pretty awesome. It could probably use some adjustments. I've hit some hellacious bases and battled my way right to the fucking end, and it was come down to one shot. And, you know, sometimes I'd win, sometimes I'd lose. I've also faced bases where I completely melted. But, you know, that could be some of the things that they're looking into. But with like the turrets and stuff, you may have to swap out maybe one special. You may want to switch out one armor. Even if you have to do that, they don't actually fall like in previous servers. Some of them can take a beating. Like I've set up, you know, and I know there's a duplicate cap of one, but I have some warehouses that I just didn't feel like changing, but I set them up so once one failed, I still had one. You know, I'm assuming one is taking over just because I got two there. It doesn't mean they're buffing both of them. But when one falls, I still got another one. And that's actually really seemed to help out quite a bit. Holding up my turrets and, you know, helping out with certain positions in the base. It's getting close. It really is. It feels like Battle Pirates, I have to admit.
Now, I know they have done some changes even from what we saw last night, for those of you who watched my stream last night. Travis, you said they've upped the deflection on the defenders, yeah?
Yes, because some setups you were able to kind of one shot or two shot a defender. I tested the same bases that I was doing that to, and it took quite a few more. Still was able to get in. Took more damage, but it felt better. Like it didn't just seem like, oh well, you know, he didn't have no armor on there. You know, it's kind of what it felt like before, but now it feels a little more leveled out.
Yeah, and that, to me, that brings back the feeling of like say, for example, like the Goliaths of old, you know, because those things could take a beat before they would finally fall.
Yeah.
You know, so what were some of the other changes you said they had made since we were on last night?
Let's see, the radiation was, I think, doing an inverted stat. So
the scope was giving you a plus range and plus damage, and the force was giving you a minus range and minus damage. So they kind of fixed that to even them out a little bit more, like they were supposed to be.
Yep. And then let's see, the wardens had a damage increase, but adjustment, I think, to the fall off, if I'm not mistaken. I think the fall off was doing something strange, like maybe falling off too quickly, or.
Gotcha. I wonder if they've fiddled with trying to fix the graphics for the mortars at all. Because I know graphically, I've seen mortars doing some really weird shit in that test server.
Yeah, they've gone straight up and done some U's and.
And it seems like their hang time was forever too, you know, and where it seemed like they should be hitting, they were actually hitting over here somewhere instead of where it looked like they were headed.
Well, see, I think Sloss had like a some kind of negative stat that would maybe slow it down, but I think it was like it didn't work as intended.
Yeah, because the hit in particular I was thinking about was when Benino hit your base last night right before you went to bed. With the mortars, dude, that was the craziest freaking hit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was insane, dude.
Yeah, it's like the mortars were flying through molasses or something, you know. It's like they were just, and they'd get down to the bottom and they'd do like a boomerang hook type thing and go over like here somewhere instead. And I'm like, what in the hell?
There was a wall of them too.
Yeah. I know. Now, I know one thing I'm going to bring up today that I'm going to try to push out because, my personal opinion, turret survivability is still a little bit low. So because I know, like, if you go and you look at your level 9 turrets that you have in the game right now, and I know Shane's brought this up a bunch of times, him and I have discussed it. Like, your level 9 turrets that you have in the game right now come stock out of the box. As soon as they get to level 9, they have 50% resistances across the board. But the level 9 turrets in the preview server don't get any deflections across the board.
Yeah.
So that just definitely seems like a hinky thing there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that and possibly I hate to say it, but some of the portals, like not the wall ones, but the hoplite, you can 2 or 3 shot it on some. But let me be clear, the people I was doing that to had some pretty high level turrets on there, meaning they weren't getting much of anything else, you know.
Right. And some of those cases too, we don't know whether they had a level 1 portal or a level 2 portal.
Yeah.
Because that can make a difference.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm with you. Like, as much as I want to be irritated that I'm going to have to change all this stuff in my base, I think it felt a lot more even across the board in what I've seen so far. A lot more fair. Me, as a person who, when it comes to PvP, languishes in the realm of mediocrity, I felt like I could still manage to defend my base pretty well.
Mhm.
Like, I'll take Ewok, for example, hit me, and Ewok got in, but Ewok only had probably like a quarter of his health left on his fleet after getting in. And he's a pretty big PvP guy, and he comes up with a bunch of crazy stuff that can break the game. And if like I said, as someone who languishes in the realm of mediocrity when it comes to PvP, I can still do like almost come close to sinking his fleet. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Okay. Because even when I lost, of course, I had to basically spend about
you had to start from scratch.
ton of the gold just to fix my base. But I mean, I'm not going to go into a test server and not upgrade everything to have it at a testable level for the players, that really, get out and do it every day. Like, I'll hit a base a few times a week, but there's players that do it a few times a day. So I feel that it would be an injustice if I didn't update every freaking thing turret wise and stuff like that in my base. It's held some crazy fleets, and it's also just got waylaid. I made a mistake of putting in my oil rigs, and like I had one, and it was making people slip it up into my guard, which was kind of funny. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll put 3 or 4 there. This will be great." Nah, man, they go straight on through.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially if you're facing a blitz fleet like Ewok was running.
Yeah,
where it was all built about speed anyway. You're just helping him out at that point.
It just went on, dude. I was like, damn, he's already in the back.
I got blinked, and my outpost is gone already. Yeah, you had a slight fault with your design too. I watched it, like your OP get splashed out that one time.
Yeah, I fixed that.
That's good.
I figured somebody could reach it, but nobody was trying. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna mess with it. And finally, somebody was like, "Oh, there's a huge weakness."
I know, me personally, one of the other things I'd like to see, maybe some of the reload times from what we're currently seeing have gone up like pretty astronomical, and I'd like to see some of those maybe come down a little bit. Like the cold snap, I think, is up to like a 15-second reload the way it's sitting right now. So I would definitely kind of like to see that come down a little bit, maybe. There's a couple of the other reload times that just seem to kind of gone up some. But I will say, though, for the people who are currently running like 8 turrets in a group to get the bonus and everything, that is going to be a pretty significant change for you to have to go through and, you know, cut down to maybe 4 and get some more variety of damage in your base. But I guess the bright side is that most of that you can do with base parts. Yes, you're going to be farming a lot of base parts, but, you know, that's also going to be coming under that 70% reduction. So, you know, what might take you like 1 million base points right now to do is only going to take you like, say, 300,000 to do during that reduction time, and that's only like 2 level 98 targets. So while it's not, you know, everything's not peachy keen, I think when it comes to fixing your base, it's not as bad as what it could potentially be.
And you're not going to be a farm instantly either. Like, there's still some bases in there that still have the 8 turret set up, and their guard is good enough to where, and the turrets, you know, they're doing damage. So, I mean, of course, it's not going to be like it would be if it was, you know, the same stats, but they're still chunking lead, you know, so you're not going to instantly be like, you know, an instant farm. I mean, some people will, of course, like me, but slow, I think, you know, if you keep up moderately, just slow changes, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I would say that if you were a farm before the refactor, you're still going to be a farm after the refactor. If you were not a farm before the refactor, you might have to do a few tweaks to not be a farm anymore, but I don't think it's like a big, huge, sweeping, I have to change every freaking thing in my base kind of change.
Yeah.
As far as having to refit the boats, you're probably going to have to do some refits. Yes, there's no denying that. You know, you're probably going to have to switch some of your armors around, but the big upside, in my opinion, anyway, is that we're getting away from the clown cars. You know, where you're putting all kinds of weapon on your hull that aren't designed to be on your hull in the first place, and you can actually put the weapons on your hull that are designed to be on your hull. So you can actually be putting out a fair amount more damage at that point. I mean,
that is big. So that's a good change, and I don't want to see that continued, you know, moving forward. So I wanted that stopped. So that's nice.
Yeah, because it brings back the essence of base hitting, because you know your range. You know, you like with the clown cars, you have so many different, you know, range types that, in order to maybe get the full effect, you're having to actually inch up into more damage because of it. And now you can play it like BP. I mean,
you can actually put countermeasures on your hull now too, because before it was like, boy, I wish I could put a countermeasure or two on this hull, but I can't get rid of any of my weapons because I'm going to lose a massive amount of deflection in an area where I need it. You know, and you definitely don't have to worry about that near as much. And from what I'm seeing currently, the way things are set up. So, I mean, and I'm sure probably because if I'm not mistaken, this is up till Saturday, right? This test server?
I think so. Somewhere around there.
Yeah. So I'm sure I'll be doing some more streaming as we go. You know, but you got to keep in mind when you watch any streams or see any videos or anything, all this that we're seeing right now is still subject to change. They're still going to be changing things. So don't be like, okay, well, based on what I saw Wednesday, this is how I'm going to start building all this stuff and totally build it out. Because come Saturday, it might not be exactly the same. So, you know, just keep slow rolling, keep putting on, like, build the shit on your boats that you know is not going to change no matter what. Like, you know, I have some Conquerors I'm working on building right now. Like my Revenants, I know I'm just putting all the Havoc Gatling guns on them because I know no matter what, that's going to stay the same. I'm putting the specials for those Havoc Gatling guns on it because I know no matter what, that's going to stay the same. I'm kind of at this point, I'm not doing armors and stuff yet until I see what's going to be where. And so I think you're pretty safe to build everything onto your hulls for the most part, except for armor at this point.
And
the armor would be what I would hold on to.
I built a fleet of missile cruisers, and then the first build was garbage, dude. Like, they just melted instantly. I went and literally changed one slot and put a number 3, just switched out to number 3. and it was a whole new fleet, freaking whole new fleet, man. So I thought at first I was gonna have to do a lot of different things, and I was actually overcomplicating it, overthinking it. And I closed out, and then I went back to my dock and clicked on the ship again, just so I'd be back where I started. And then I went, I think, from MC plate to XR plate or something 3. Man, it just started taking it on like a champ. It's not where it needs to be. I don't have really all the specials that I should for the missile fleet, but I can make it stand.
I think I know one thing that I find interesting too is there were some people who were in the test server who I never saw go out of their base once.
I know.
I guess they were sitting in their base crunching all these numbers, doing all these spreadsheets, and now guess what? Today, half of those are going to have to totally reduce. They wasted all that time yesterday on absolutely nothing.
And that was the first thing Chris told us. Don't waste your time with it and get out and test it. And my base sit for hours and hours unbubbled, and people just playing back and forth with each other, or nobody coming out. And I'm like, come on, man, just level it, test it. Just randomly build something. Don't even think about it. Randomly build it, take it out there and run it through it. Test it.
Yep. Because your spreadsheets might tell you that it's supposed to be one thing, but when you get out there and hit it, you're like, oh, okay, well, this isn't working what my numbers said it was working.
Yeah.
So.
Because you can buy far quicker change stuff and test stuff faster live than sitting there and trying to figure it out. Now, don't get me wrong, I've done it and calculated some things, and it's helped. But the fun part is just trying stuff. It's that's what we're in there for. Just try it, whatever. I mean, I've built a Ifrit Blitz fleet, and that thing was pretty fun. It's not. I only got 3, but it's not going to break no huge base. But I can get into a couple bases. It's a stupid little fun fleet. I like it.
Yeah, I have to say at this point, unlike the last 2 iterations of the test server that I saw at this point, I haven't seen anything like where having one boat in your guard is like, oh my god, nobody can get in my base now, or nobody can. I haven't seen one boat make that big of a significant difference like I have in some of the other ones.
Templar's Ifrit, I don't know what he's got on it. And he said, he's like, I just broke the math. I don't know, man. I can't break his, which I didn't put a whole lot of thought into trying to get the radiation defense up enough. Or he's got a weird channel too, so you're taking crossfire while you're trying to get around to that ship through a corner of walls. So it's pretty smart design. I'd like to test that ship 1v1 just to see. But.
No, what are you talking about? He's a mods. Mods don't know how to play this game.
Shit, dude.
That's what everybody always says about the mods. They don't play this game. They don't know what they're talking about. Yada yada yada.
I mean,
so I always throw that out there when somebody says something good about the mods. I'm like, what are you talking about? They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to play this game.
He's helped figure out a lot of stuff. So is Laredo. So we as players, I'm sure, I'll speak for everybody, we appreciate them taking the time to do that.
Yeah, like I said, I know the last test server I streamed, the one that was like a week ago or a week and a half ago or whatever. That like day one, within the first hour or 2, everybody figured out, oh, okay, well, you can't get past wardens that have explosive on them. So what do you know? The next thing you know, everybody has like 4 or 5 wardens in their base, and that just put a total grinding halt to the test server. And I have not seen any kind of boat that does that at this point.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of creativity too, which most of the bases are going to have. A lot of people went towards the onslaught for a while, and then that kind of got tuned a little bit to where they were manageable. And then, but I'm running the high guard curator, a siren, a regular curator, and 2 wardens, and that's a cool little defender fleet. It needs some tweaks. I haven't messed with it, but for what it is, it's freaking awesome.
I know right now I'm running an onslaught, a siren, a regular curator, a warden, and a high guard warden.
You know what? Fuck your onslaught, dude. It's a bitch.
Oh, that was funny. You sat there,
man.
like 5 minutes you were firing on that thing and didn't even scratch the paint on it. That was hilarious. That was freaking hilarious.
It was.
I know one other thing I want to bring up to him too is like it really bothers me that assault mortar can't be put on defender hulls, because I would definitely think assault mortars are really kind of meant to be put on defender hulls, because they're trying to kill the fleets that are coming in, and assault stuff is more about killing ships than it is killing bases. So why can I not put assault mortars on my defender hulls? That does not make a blick of sense to me.
Yeah. Which one is that?
I don't know. Whatever the last assault mortar that we got was, the one that came out after the 2XQ did, but I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, yeah, I'm running, I guess, the, oh, shoot, I can't remember the name of it now. Sort of like a tan looking one. It was right beside the other C.
No photo says it's the X72 is
yes,
one.
That's what I got on mine. On one of them.
On your defenders?
No.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, there's like, it always irritated me too that you couldn't put war plating on defenders because it was anti-splash, and you would think that seems that to me that has defender written all over it. But that was one that was conqueror only, and I mean, I guess at this point it's almost, I don't know that it's even worth bringing up because deflections are a way bigger deal than splash at the moment when it comes to armor. But yeah, that was another one that always kind of bugged me. So I don't know. Chat, if you have any questions, now's the time to bring them up while I get to see if these guys have anything else they want to talk about before we sign off. Because if they don't have anything else and you guys in chat don't have any questions, this might be a short one. So Ross, anything you want to bring up?
No, I mean, I've been seeing some live in-game, some really good hits lately. They've been fun to watch. Taking advantage of the world chat, and then people post quite a bit. And if you're fast enough to view, I've seen some really nice preps lately with the. So it's been fun to watch in the current game right now for me.
I know snipers are kind of on their last hurrah this week, I guess, going out and killing as much crap as possible before the refactor thing happens. I know I saw Hooded Penis shooting off his mouth at World Comms the other day. Oh, sorry, Hooded Claw. My bad. I shouldn't say Hooded Penis on the live. Oh, I just did it again. Never mind. Travis, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, just I know we as players sometimes, we want everything now. I just think we can be just a little patient, and it's for our benefit. Don't rush into changing anything. Just wait, and it's not gonna be that bad. It's gonna be good.
Candy Apple, when it comes to the reduced defender range, they actually have backpedaled on that. Like, I know my sirens now that have scatters have the same range as witch doctors that have scatters, and my siren that has Gatling guns on it has the same range as the revenants that have Gatling guns on them. So they have kind of backpedaled on that a little bit. I don't think like the warden, for example, I don't think its ranges are quite as big as its range buffs are quite as big maybe as what they were before. I think it's lost a little bit range, but it still outranges the attacker hull for the most part, I believe. So yeah, they have not got it to where your defenders will always be outranged anymore.
Yeah, because I tried to inch up, and you know, I made a couple different, you know, well, I done my missile fleet because that gave me the biggest range, and tried to inch right up, and just as soon as I got where it fired, I mean, he fired, and I was just like, oh damn, you know. So
Yeah.
but that, I mean, that's good. I mean, it's as long as the damage numbers are on par with each other, that's what it should be in a way. You know, as long as that's the right setup, you know, right weapons versus, you know, that's strategy.
No, Phobos lied to us earlier when he said X-72 mortar, because apparently it's the L-84X is the best assault mortar at the moment. Way to lie to us, No Phobos. Good job, man.
He fixed it. He fixed it, though.
Right. Cool. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, from what I've done and the testing I've got in, to me, it definitely seems like more of old-fashioned battle pirates for sure. You know, and honestly, where I think really where we're going to see is like going forward into tier 8, because I can just imagine like where our deflection numbers and stuff would have been had they not done this readjustment by the time we got into the tier 8 stuff. You know, I mean, we were already in deflections in the millions. So, oh, here's tier 8. Now you have to worry about getting your deflections up to 10 million, and your damage is going to be like, you know, 10 million per shot. You know, no, dude, this is not Pokemon where you're not impressed by really big numbers. The numbers just need to do what they need to do. You know. But yeah, so I guess we're gonna call it there. Yeah, we're only 9 minutes short, so that's not too bad with only having 10 slides to go over. Maybe 9, I don't know. It wasn't very many.
Pretty good.
So yeah, we're gonna call it here. Yeah, I'm sure at some point in time over the course of the next couple of days I will be streaming again. I'm not 100% sure when at this point in time, but keep an eye out on the page and on. Oh yeah, I can bring this up. The page now has a Discord channel too. So if you haven't joined our Discord channel, go ahead and jump over and join that up. We got about, I don't know, how many people we got over there now, Ross? Like 27 people or so?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to see us get some more people in there so we can you know, get some live chats going on over there, talk about stuff like real time live. And that's, of course, I put all the show links there, and I put all the news there. Sometimes it actually the news gets put on Discord before it makes it to the page because I'm in Discord already when I get the news, so it's easier to just put it there first. But yeah, so if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. Of course, as always, give us a like, give us a subscribe, send your friends to the page, all that fun stuff. And I will see you sometime soon with my live stream, and we will all see you on Saturday with the No Quarter, where we will probably talk some more about this refactor and where we're at. Later, guys.
Have a good night.